I love talking to this guy. He knows all things music and movies and television and, everything animated. He's a remarkable guy called the Culture Blaster on social media. He writes a column for the Marina Times. You can find him occasionally in the coffee shop there on Polk Street, the corner, Royal Grounds, it's called. He comes to us on a ray of sunshine and a rainbow. Yeah. He's Michael Snyder, everyone.
Hey, Michael.
Hey, Brett. Hi, Mark. Gosh, I feel so good, man. Vaccine production and dispensing is up. I mean, I'm so delighted that two friends were able to score the Moderna vaccine this week due to increased production. But the one you really want, guys, is the mid-century Moderna, much hipper.
Come on. Michael Snyder, the mid-century Moderna. I loved it.
Listen, I got to ask you, is double vaxxed the new Bleu de Chanel, or is it the new Axe body spray? I'm asking for a friend.
Come on, everyone.
I hear it's an actual aphrodisiac. I mean, could I go up to a woman sitting in a parklet nursing a coffee and say, I'm double vaxxed. How about you?
Nice. I got the
Straight
Fauci
up right
ouchie.
in, no problem.
Yeah. Well, we're very excited that you got your vaccine then, Michael Snyder.
I did. I invoked the education mandate because I'm on a faculty at a grad school, and hey, baby, it worked.
This is an embarrassment to our country.
Well, I don't know, but he's our treasure, so I'm glad he's okay and safe. What do you have for us this week?
Okay, let's talk about movies, and hopefully we're going to get to a TV series I'm crazy about, but let's lead with Voyagers. Neil Berger directed this very cool, darkly comic sci-fi thriller Limitless that actually became a short-run TV series, and he wrote and directed a very entertaining period magician flick called The Illusionist. So I had high hopes for this new sci-fi film he's done, Voyagers. I was disappointed. He directed it from his own script, and what it's about is as follows. Scientists on Earth want to send out a kind of a lifeboat for humanity as our planet is headed for environmental distinction and all the other usual bad stuff. So they breed a bunch of kids to begin an 80-plus year trip to the nearest habitable Earth-like planet that could be colonized by their grandchildren. So they're never let out into the world. They're just kept together in close quarters until the launch, presumably so, they don't know what they'll be missing. And they shoot them off, and along for the ride is one of the heads of the project, a paternal, altruistic instructor and a guide for this first generation. He's played by Colin Farrell, who does a solid job here. And the movie jumps 10 years after the launch, and the kids are teenagers. And, of course, something goes wrong on this ship. Hormones are unleashed. That means conflict. You may remember the controversial novel and movie Lord of the Flies. Well, this situation might turn into Spaceship of the Flies. And note, I said might. I don't want to spoil anything. The cast seems to be in search of a CW teen drama to populate. I mean, like Riverdale in outer space. It's not a show I would necessarily watch. Voyagers had a terrific concept, but it just didn't really deliver. It's a little conventional in ways. You kind of know where it's going. By the way, only in theaters for now. I'm sure it's going to make it to video on demand very, very soon.
Yeah, kind of disappointing for Michael. What's next, Michael?
The Tunnel, like The Wave and The Quake. The Tunnel is a very entertaining disaster movie from Norway. Apparently, they're really good at disaster movies. And like The Wave and The Quake, there's a family in crisis woven into the plot of The Tunnel, a father and daughter in this case, plus numerous other quirky and or dysfunctional Norwegians in peril. And of course, there's the disaster itself. It's a hellish fire and an explosion from a fuel-filled tanker truck in the middle of a long and busy mountain tunnel it's the afternoon of Christmas Eve. So lots of people are out. They're going home to have their cozy family Christmas. And of course, a snowstorm is setting into the area. Billowing, choking smoke, lives endangered, brave people, first responders, and selfless civilians have to risk it all and make sacrifices to escape and or save other unfortunates. And of course, there's an entitled creep who has to get his comeuppance. Yeah, Norway, like all civilized countries, has its share of entitled creeps. Maybe not as many as America, but you know. The action slowly builds. It gets intense, but stays grounded in the reality of what is noted as having really happened in a number of Norway's questionably maintained tunnels. I'll be honest, I prefer The Wave and The Quake, which now that I think about it, sounds like a couple of alternative rock stations. I actually worked at The Quake a number of years.
Yeah, that's right.
Really?
Anyway.
Wow.
Yeah, continue. Go ahead.
No, but those are two movies. If you're looking for a thriller, you'd be okay to enter the tunnel. And as disaster movies go, it's certainly more plausible than, I don't know, the Poseidon Adventure. And you can see this on Apple TV, Fandango now, and other platforms. It's in Norwegian with English subtitles. So, those of you who can't read, you've been warned.
Okay. What else do you have?
Okay. Did you know there was a long-running cowboy culture in certain primarily black Philadelphia neighborhoods? I'm talking horses, stables, riding clubs, celebratory gatherings with races. Now, I was born in Philadelphia and spent much of my childhood there. I also have South Jersey and Lower Manhattan roots. I consider myself a San Franciscan and lived here most of my life, but I'm a Philly guy. And man, I never heard anything about this. Concrete Cowboy is the name of the movie. It's a fascinating drama about Cody, a kid who was raised by his moms in Detroit, gets into trouble and is sent to live with his dad in Philly for the summer and discovers that dad keeps a horse in his ground floor ghetto apartment. And really, dad is played by the ever great Idris Elba, and he's one of those black inner city cowboys I'm talking about. And so faster than you can say steeds in the hood, Cody is torn between the lure of quick money from a young friend's street corner drug trade and the more wholesome activities of cleaning out the stables and bonding with a wild bucking bronco. This mix of family drama, coming of age movie, and urban crime tale is truly remarkable in its examination of the people and the purpose of an unlikely subculture, essentially since the cast features actual horsemen and horsewomen from the Philly riding scene. And Caleb McLaughlin, who plays Cody, he's a definite find. Director, co-writer Ricky Staub, he roped himself a good one here. This is available on Netflix, Concrete Cowboy. Crazy, huh?
Wow, that's wild. It sounds really intriguing. Yeah, you're right. A subculture like that in that world, in that urban environment in which you don't expect a subculture like that. Really, really cool. We've got just another minute or so. You want to work one more in, or you want to go to your TV series reviews? What do you think? You didn't get a chance to get to TV last week. That's why I ask.
Let's do the TV stuff, because I really have to tell you about The Serpent. I highly recommend the new BBC series, The Serpent, now available to stream on Netflix. And it dramatizes, I'd never heard the story of the protagonist or antagonist in The Serpent. So I got to say, wow. It's a horrific and fascinating tale of a real-life con artist and murderer who preyed on gullible Western hippie types seeking kicks with a side order of enlightenment in Asia during the 1970s. It stars Tahir Rahim of the Mauritanian as the fiendish Charles Sobrage, and Jenna Coleman of the historical miniseries Victoria as his female accomplice, a French-Canadian woman who falls under his spell. The era and the multinational selection of characters lends itself to some truly cool needle drops, too, starting with one of the Rolling Stones' most uncharacteristic but earwormy numbers of the mid-'70s, Fingerprint File. But I have to tell you, this thing just kills it in the best possible way. If you have a chance to watch The Serpent, it's brutal, but it's absolutely riveting.
And it's a series of how many episodes?
I don't know, 6, 8. It's a mini series based on they're not going to have the Serpent 2, the re-killing.
Okay, so it does close out. Then you're saying, yeah, it closes out.
It does. Quickly,
go ahead.
Quickly, I want to mention. I have to tell you, Invincible is an R-rated animated superhero series based on the comic book of the same name on Amazon. It concerns the son of a Superman-type visitor from another planet and a normal human woman, and the kid's in his teens when his own powers manifest. And it does some really unlikely, shocking stuff that brought me back to episode 3, 2, 3, 4 on Amazon. All I'll say is it's a gut punch, and it's not what you normally get from animated superhero fare.
Wow, what a lot of stuff. Thank you, Michael Snyder. Voyagers, so much great pedigree going into it, but a disappointment, Michael feels. The Tunnel, he liked it. Norwegian, subtitled disaster film, but really good. Concrete Cowboy, the subculture film about the cowboy experience in an urban neighborhood. And on the TV side, The Serpent, which can be found at the BBC, and Invincible, which is on Amazon. Michael Snyder, he liked both of those a lot. You really...
Whoa. Wait. The Serpent is on Netflix, Mark. You can just...
Well, then what was the BBC thing?
Yeah, it started on the BBC. It dropped in January, but Netflix has it now.
Oh my God! All right, I don't know. It just
whoever is producing this thing has no idea what they're doing.
It says BBC. All right. Anyway, Michael, excited. So it's Netflix will get you to those places. Invincible on Amazon and The Serpent on Netflix. Michael, we love you. Thank you. Have a great week. Good luck with your mid-century Moderna.
I Googled.
And I think you'll be fine. Anything else, Brett? No, we're late. I know. Okay. Michael Snyder, bye-bye.
See you, Michael.
So long, gentlemen.
I was momentarily rocked by my mistake.